guy to me seems to be, someone who is a bit desperate, right? He doesn't know where his, home right now is not good. He doesn't want to be at, what used to call home, right? And at that moment, right there in the car with whomever's
Yeah, he's
driving,
perfectly fine
that
with
right there is like it's bliss.
Yeah,
That's the
like if
moment
we could
right
die
there.
right now, I'm cool with
That's
it.
the
I've
moment.
gotten to where I
That's
want to
the
be.
moment.
Hey, welcome to Into the Music. I'm here with Greg, and my name's Chris, and Greg's got a song for me to react to, and so tell me all about it.
Yeah,
Don't tell me all about it, just tell me
no,
the
no, but I'm really excited about this one because so this has been one of the most requested songs, especially when it comes to the Smiths
Oh, it's the
and
Smiths. Okay.
the
Okay.
Smiths. Yeah. So this one is There's a Light That Never Goes Out. And go I'm a s well, we've already talked. I think I know now what you know and a lot that you really don't know by the Smiths. So I'm gonna assume that you don't know this and go check it out, man, and come back and let me know what you think.
All right.
Take me out tonight, where there's music and there's people and the young and the light. Driving in your car, I never want to go home because I haven't got one anymore. Take me out tonight, because I want to see people and I want to see light. Driving in your car, oh please don't drop me home, because it's not my home, it's their home and I'm welcome no more. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck kills the both of us, to die by your side, well, the pleasure, the privilege is mine.
Okay, I didn't expect those lines. Oh boy. Okay.
Take me out tonight. Take me anywhere, don't care, don't care, don't care. And in the darkened underpass, I thought, oh God, my chance has come at last. But then a strange fear gripped me and I just couldn't ask. Take
I like this song. I'm getting to like the Smiths more and more as I listen to more of their stuff.
Yeah.
Um, this one, the music was fairly upbeat, and I was paying attention to the lyrics on this
Yeah.
one. Big surprise there. Um, and I like, I was thinking about that line about, not the gist of it was not feeling comfortable at home, wanting to
Right.
get out. I was just thinking, I've lived in places before where I wasn't comfortable at home, just didn't like the neighborhood or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's terrible when you don't have that refuge to go to. What's supposed to be your refuge is not your refuge.
Yeah.
But that said, yeah, so I could identify with that and just going out where things are happening and all. I got a kick out of the lyrics about, if a 10-ton truck hits us,
I
who
know.
is it
I
dying with
know.
you here? That
Yeah.
that's gotta be tongue in cheek.
Some of
Um,
his stuff was. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because
Some of his
that's like
lyrics.
really, but yeah, but musically I really liked it.
Yeah.
And it had a, it had a steady propulsion throughout, you know. Um,
Right.
I did say in the reaction, I might have said this before in a Smith song that just because Morrissey's voice is so unique, I kind of have to take it in um, piece in I can't I couldn't see listening to like I'm going to listen to Morrissey all day,
Yeah.
just because it's so unique and so highly stylized and unique. So I like it, but I have to uh, take a break between between any stretch of listening to his singing, and that is no knock on him whatsoever. It's just that
Yeah.
I can't explain it any further, but
I I
it's
think
it's kind of like an acquired taste.
it's. I was waiting for the right time to like say that because those
Yeah.
words were just
Now
like
I've already
acquired
acquired
taste.
the taste, but I think I said it once before. It's kind of like, oh, I like this spice in my food, but I'm not going to put it in everything. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. So my dad, right? So many years ago, and back, I'm going to probably, to many of the people out there, I'm going to identify a beer name called Schmitz. You're probably gonna be like, huh? But but Schmitz was a big beer label back,
Schmitz.
when I was a kid,
Right,
teenager.
right. I
And
remember my father used to drink that once in a while.
my dad, my dad would buy a 6 pack of Schmitz and he would have that sit in the fridge forever, and then just when, all of a sudden, then one would be gone, and then it would, go months and months, and so I bring that up because, um, and that's kind of like, at my age right now, I'm almost like that. I got beer sitting, in my younger days,
You better
but
hold that up to a light and see if it's cloudy, man, because
in my
that's
younger days it was
they'll go
different.
bad.
But now it's like, my beer could be sitting there for like months and months and months. And then there's that time, maybe it's a hot day, maybe I had a
Mhm.
rough day at work or whatever. There's that time where I'm going to have a nice cold beer. And so maybe possibly, Morrissey could be like that for you, right? That's going to be that time,
Yeah, I
that'd
think
be,
I think it would be that way.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
when you drink it, right? When you hear it, this is good. This is
Right,
good.
right.
And then
That's a good metaphor for it. Yes,
there you go. Right.
yes.
Um,
Morrissey is like a 6 pack of beer
of
sitting
Schmitz beer.
Schmidt. Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know about Schmitz. That's I was going to say up there, but really that's down there with Peels and
All right.
Black Label. Remember
We're
those?
talking about Corona. No, not Corona. We don't want to talk about Corona beer.
I'm sick of Corona.
No,
No.
no, 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 no. Yeah. Beck's, right? And Heineken. Anyway, so no, but let's get
Well,
back to
those
the
had a
song.
different flavor altogether. Those are those
Yeah.
kind.
So this song, yeah, there's a reason, like, why this has been like one of the most requested songs, and it's there. There's this well, first off, that whole tongue in cheek thing. When you think about that line, that we've said to many people, I mean, I say it to my kids, like, if I get hit by a bus, whatever, like, going outside the door, like, I may never come back, and of course, we think we're going to come back, and it's kind of dramatic, I'm going to be hit by a bus, I'm going to like walk outside my house in my residential area, and I'll just have the luck of a big bus just coming, tearing through my
It's
local
always
road
a
and like hitting
bus,
me.
as if a car
It's always
can't.
a bus, it's never a car, it's never, it's going to be a bus, a double-decker bus. But I think he's taken that sort of line that we've all heard and we've all said at some point, and just sort of like saying, that's a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing like that. But that was actually a really serious, and very somber kind of, I think, sort of lyric right there. I mean, not that particular line, but where he was saying, this guy to me seems to be, someone who is a bit desperate, right? He doesn't know where his, home right now is not good. He doesn't want to be at, what used to call home, right? And at that moment, right there in the car with whomever's
Yeah, he's
driving,
perfectly fine
that
with
right
it.
there is like it's bliss.
Yeah,
That's the
like if
moment
we could
right
die
there.
right now, I'm cool with it.
That's the
I've gotten
moment.
to where I
That's
want to
the
be.
moment.
Yeah, yeah, I
Exactly.
get it. I get it.
And this is
Although
so,
the way it was phrased with
yeah.
the
Well, because
10-ton
Morrissey,
truck and
that's that's Morrissey.
that made it
That's
more tongue
Morrissey.
in cheek, but I get the meaning. Yeah.
Well, he sometimes he puts a. I think I mentioned this one of the first song that we did. Like, he puts a brick in the bag sometimes, and kind of, like, whoa, what was like he has to kind of like
Surprise you?
he's gonna surprise you, and kind of almost shock you with like,
Yeah.
did he really, double decker bus? And then later on, I think he's kind of sings almost something similar, but says like a truck, getting hit by a truck.
Yeah, right.
So,
10-ton truck. Yeah.
but it's also the I think it's dramatic, but I think what, the person who was singing that and, what he is sort of experiencing and like, that's dramatic, like what is his future? Well, his future right
Yeah.
now, not sure, but his present, as we said, that's
Yeah.
the moment right there. And it sounds like, the person that he's with is someone that he cares about a lot, it could be romantic. And yeah, if they both died together at that moment right there,
Yeah.
that's it for him. So, and as those interesting lyrics, are kind of, you know, um, moving, and kind of going throughout the whole song, just I loved, maybe you can pick up too that, this is a very melodic band. They're definitely in they're
Yes.
definitely
Yes.
into like melody and movement, and there's a lightness to their sound. And I mean lightness as though, there's just, the bass and Mars guitar playing, there's a little bounce, there's like almost like, if
Mhm.
you weren't paying attention to the lyrics, you would think this, is an uplifting song.
Right.
And yet, so that's kind of interesting right there, uh, and I don't know if you were paying attention, but in the middle part of the song and then towards the end, as they wrote the song out, there's like a flute. Did you pick up on that? There's a flute.
Mhm.
And at first, in the middle part of the song, it's not
I'd
it's
have to
not
listen
easy to
again.
detect. Yeah, I'm like, oh, what's that instrument? And when I had heard the song back, I was like, what
Mhm.
is that? And then towards the end, I'm like, that really sounds like a flute. There it comes
Yeah.
again. And then so when you have a flute that comes in, it's almost like it's very complementary to the
Right.
strings that you've been hearing throughout the song. And it just, to me, it just fills in the song even more.
Yeah.
This whole I just think it's a beautiful melodic song. With a very you know again, a story where it's you care about this guy, who is kind of, you know, um, who's really, again, he doesn't have much of a future, but he knows sort of what he wants at the moment,
Mhm.
and I think we've all been there, I think, when I think back to my young days, you know, uh, you almost living day by day, kind of, you almost see it like that, you don't really, you're not really living for tomorrow so much, right? And so anyway, but
So,
yeah.
when did this come out, and what album is it from?
So this released in 1986. So this is on
Oh, it's going
this
way back.
this is on The Queen is Dead, and yeah, that was their big selling.
I
That
wonder what
that
the
was the big
Queen
one.
thought.
That was the big one.
I'm wondering what the Queen thought about that title.
I was, yeah, the Queen. I know. Yeah. What? Yeah. But it was, I think, it was kind of like
That breakthrough?
it was sort of the creme de la creme. It
Okay.
was the culmination, the peak. I think they broke up the year after. I think 1987 is when they broke up. And then 5 years later, for some reason, this song was released as a single. It wasn't released as a
Okay.
single until 1992,
Okay.
5 years after their breakup. So I think, we're discovering as we do some of these bands, right? And the Stone Roses and, you know, there's contract squabbles, recordings, money,
Sure.
there's just
Yeah, the
things that get
typical
in the
that
way
always
that get
happens.
weird, it's like, doesn't make any sense, when something gets dropped
Yeah.
or, you don't have another album for another 5 years, like Stone Roses. And,
Right.
so for this single to kind of show up in 1992, but, um, and what was interesting, I think, and I might be mistaken, but I think when you and I talked way before even doing this channel, and we were like looking at bands, and I think when we did the first one, I think you admitted that the one Smith song that you knew was Big Mouth Strikes Again. Is that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So it's funny that that song is the one you knew, right? Coming into this channel, because that song is also on this album. And that song, Johnny Marr talks about that it was between that song and this one to become that single off the
Okay.
album. And they went with Big Mouth Strikes Again. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter at this point because it definitely has had legs, and it's
Mhm.
gotten the attention that it deserves. It's a really great Smith song. I mean, if you're a Smiths fan, I mean, this is right there at the top. And if you're not a Smiths fan, I think it's interesting enough. This seems like
Mhm.
that could be a really good listen and make you think a little bit more about the Smiths. That next time that you're thirsty for that next Smith song.
Quench your thirst.
Yeah. All right.
All right, want to
So
take
I'm
us
going to take
out?
us out. Yeah. So this was fun, and I hope that everyone enjoyed this video reaction. And if you did, hit the like button. And if you haven't yet subscribed, come on, join. It'll be fun. And that said, Chris, this is good. Have a good night. And everyone, we'll see you on the next
Yep.
episode of Into the Music.